8 o'clock this Tuesday morning, September 23rd. Geez, I'm off for a couple of days, and I already forgot that I'm supposed to start the show.
Yup.
Sorry. Yikes. Hey, this is ARC Rochester. Thanks for being here. I'm Abby Fridmann.
I'm Dan Schrack. We have a jam-packed 2 hours to get through, so let's run down what we have brewing for you this morning.
All right, get your sneakers laced up and get ready for a day of fun at Seneca Park. Today, we're previewing EPI's annual 1 in 26 walk. It's happening next weekend, and it's a family-friendly event that makes a big difference in our community.
And then we are taking a closer look at a new tattoo trend that has young people putting their ink somewhere totally unexpected. I don't know that I want to know where they're putting their ink. We're going to show you where it is and why it's catching on.
And then later, a world-renowned guitarist with deep Rochester ties is striking a new chord in his brand new album. We are going to sit down with that musician as he prepares to bring the album to life in an upcoming show at Eastman next week.
Before all of that, let's get a first check of the forecast. We are seeing some spotty showers out there today. Listen, we need the rain. Meteorologist Marty Snyder here now with how long it'll last.
Well, yeah, we're going to see at least a couple of those showers out there. It's the steadiest rain that's now moved out. That's pushing east into central New York up through the Adirondacks, so that's on its way up. And you can see at least a few showers that are forming across the area now, so we're not quite done. We're seeing the steadiest rain away from us, but still that chance is there for a couple little scattered showers to try to form and occasionally make their way through. But we're starting off with at least the cloud cover holding. We're starting with temperatures mostly in the 60s, so a mild start to the day. As you can see, officially, we're seeing some rain at the airport in the official observation. Temperatures today, they'll end up mostly in the mid-70s for highs and still a little bit of a summer-like feel, just given the fact that we have that humidity level. It's staying pretty high. The dew point's up there a lot higher than it usually is this time of year, so still that summer-like feel on this first full day of fall. 61 tonight, 76 tomorrow, mainly dry then. A little higher risk of rain as we head through very late Wednesday night into Thursday. That may be our next good chance of seeing some rain. And then we just kind of level off in the 70s for Friday and the weekend, so not too bad for this time of year. Average high is not too far from 70 exactly, and looks like we'll exceed that over quite a few of these upcoming days, guys.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you there, Marty.
Oh, it's all good, Dan. We're all family.
I forgot what story piqued my interest this morning, and I wanted to know if
I remember.
Do you?
Yeah, we're going to find out in just a second. But I just want to say
that. Okay, right.
When I sat down 12 seconds before the show started, I thought, did I write that off the top?
Yeah.
Yikes.
I totally forgot.
It's one of those days, guys.
Totally
That's
forgot.
the worst feeling when you forget something like that.
I think it is the forecast. I think it's the rainy forecast.
Oh, of course. Blame it on the weather.
Listen,
We're not blaming you, though.
No, it did, but the rain interrupts my frequency.
Yeah, it's going to make me want to sleep this afternoon. That's all I know.
Yeah, right.
All right, Marty, thank you.
Sure.
Hey, let's go off the top and start with some of the things that have piqued our interest this morning. I will kick things off. Well, the day isn't over yet, but we are all still here. So if the rapture happens later, I guess we'll do a take 2 of this. If you've been on TikTok at all this week, you've probably seen it. Have you seen it? You've seen it. Of course you've seen it. Rapture talk all over your For You page. It started with a South African pastor who said he had a vision that Jesus told him he'd come on September 20th or 23rd rather, and 24th. And that clip blew right up. From there, it went viral. Serious videos, skeptical breakdowns, and memes all at once. Social media platforms amplify this stuff fast. We all know that. Short clips travel faster than actual facts, and before you know it, people are calling it a movement. Some of the most worrying posts, though, claim people are quitting their jobs, selling their cars, and giving away their homes because they think they'll be taken. Now, I'm not laughing at anyone who is scared, but please fact check before making these life decisions. And here's one thing. None of this is new. Hollywood has been profiting off of this since the dawn of movies. Think Left Behind, Armageddon, 2012. We love the spectacle, and we always buy tickets to go see those movies. Those are my favorite movies.
They are, really?
When the World Ends, that's my favorite movie. It's my favorite movie.
It's a sweet release.
It is. It is. Well, they all sell a story that resonates. In 2011, radio preacher Harold Champing predicted a rapture on May 21st. May 21st came and went, nothing happened. He recalculated to October 21st. December 21, 2012 was the end of the Mayan calendar. That fueled massive buzz about the end of the world, too. So why do people fall for date setters? Psychology says apocalypse stories reduce uncertainty and make the biggest fear feel predictable and give people control, community, and a sense of purpose when the world feels like it's in chaos. But that doesn't make bad choices smart. It makes fear human. Bottom line, be curious, but be kind and be realistic. And if someone tells you they know the day or the hour, remember the Bible itself says no one knows. So fact check it. Check on people who seemed to panic. And please, whatever you do, don't sell your house because of a viral video.
Okay, so phenomenal, first of all. Second of all, I have seen some of the Rapture videos, and I usually just kind of scroll past them because I'm like, I don't really need to know. You know, I'm not really believing in it. Sorry.
You're more of a surprise me.
Yeah, well,
kind of gal.
you know, when it happens, it happens. But I guess I'm wondering what everybody thinks is going to happen. Are we just going to evaporate? Are people going to come and like alien type deal?
So what this pastor said is that the chosen will disappear in the blink of an eye.
Okay.
Beyond that, I don't know. Beyond that, it's speculation. What? No, what are you laughing at?
Just how do you know if you're chosen or like?
Well, you know if you're chosen because...
Is it good if you're chosen or is it bad if you're chosen?
No, it's good if you're chosen.
Okay.
It's bad if you're left behind.
Because then what?
Because then you are not one of the chosen.
Okay. It's just...
Eternal damnation? I'm not 100% sure.
So...
But it's.
So I'm left, like, okay, let's say that you're one of the chosen. Not surprising, I suppose. Poof, you're gone.
Uh-huh.
And then I just go about my life and I'm like, oh, Dan's gone. And that's it?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And listen.
I think I'd be, I'm just kidding. I'd be okay.
I'm ready. I saw some videos of people in literal tears over this, where you could tell this, whatever you want to call it, was taking an emotional toll on some people. And that's when when people start to spiral and when stories go wild like this and really impact people, that's when it becomes seriously concerning. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
Like, we got to stop with fear-mongering.
Yeah.
Because that's what... It's the 23rd.
We have
what
till
it seems
tomorrow?
Like, I guess. When? I don't know. Because we don't have a date, time, hour, second, anything like that.
I'm going to text you every hour on the hour.
On the hour.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think we have to get through the 24th. So midnight, the 25th. What is that, Thursday?
Yep.
Yeah, we'll, I guess, know for sure if we can start planning for the next Rapture.
Okay. Beautiful. You know, I think that right now people are just struggling in general, which is actually a decent segue to mine. Let's be honest, things are a little bleak right now. There's a lot of conflict, talk of the apocalypse. People are pretty upset about a lot of things, but we're going to take a second now and look for the joy with one thing that can make most people smile.
Yes.
It's Fat Bear Week. And I know, it was briefly discussed last week. I was not here. I don't believe you were here either.
Was it discussed at all?
I was told briefly, very briefly.
I thought it was discussed last year.
No, okay, so it was. So we definitely talked about it last year on ARC Rochester. But it does need proper recognition this year because it's quite an honor, and we all definitely need a smile right now. And tell me what's funnier than a bunch of fat bears. 12 bears have made the roster for the annual Katmai National Park contest. Only one, though, will be crowned the winner. Voting begins today, in just about an hour, and it runs through September 30th. I hope we're here to see it. This tradition, which has been going on for more than a decade, highlights some of the biggest brown bears who live in Alaska right along the Brooks River, which, by the way, you can live stream their adventures. The website is explore.org. They partner with the Park Service to show off the contest. So this is pictures of some of the bears right here. Researchers estimate that the bears are essentially carbo loading, and they can gain an additional 700 pounds as they get ready for winter.
Me too.
That one's you. All in all, they could end up weighing 1,400 pounds by the end of the competition. Now, there is no meal plan, there's no exercise routine, and there are no diet pills being prescribed. The bears are supposed to get really, really, really fat. They need to eat about a year's worth of food within half a year or so that when they do go into hibernation, they're able to survive. Winter is one of the most difficult times for the bears. Unfortunately, though, there is no grand prize like a cake made out of salmon. The bears just go on and get ready for the cold months. So, bragging rights, I guess, is maybe the prize. The bear named Grazer was the winner last year, and she was seeking revenge, going head-to-head against another bear who killed her cub.
No.
I know. She took home the prize, though, for the second year in a row.
Is that her?
I don't know.
Is that just
Huge,
a fat bear?
There are a lot of fat bears. There are hundreds. Let me say that. Hundreds and hundreds in that park. But they narrow it down to 12.
Well, and some of the video there shows just how thin they get, during the regular season before they bulk up.
Right?
And get back to their sleeping weight.
And like being real here, they're a little freakier when they're so skinny.
Yeah.
When they're like big and chubby, you just kind of want to like to their little face.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't ever
obviously,
do it.
But
don't do that.
It just makes you wanna.
Yeah.
If I saw a skinny bear, I'd probably run a little faster.
Yes. Well, and they probably could run a little faster too. I would imagine.
What is the deal with brown bears?
Stop, drop, and roll.
What is it?
Play dead?
Supposed to lay down? Play dead?
Yeah. I don't think
Director
it's gonna
Jeff
help.
said it's not
I
gonna
agree.
help. I don't know. Either way, I have no plans of going.
Listen, you don't have to outrun the bear. You just have to outrun your friends. It's the truth.
Really, that's horrible.
Maybe
you're not
just one of
chosen
them.
for the rapture.
Just
I don't know.
one of them. Just one of them. There's a what-you-call-it?
A bracket.
A bracket.
Yes. Yep. You can fill out your own, pick the winners.
We've got to fill those out before the end of the week.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
That sounds good.
All right. Hey, stick around. A lot more to come right here on ARC Rochester, including when we come back. We're checking back in with Chris Lopez, who is feeling extra saucy this morning.
Yeah, don't forget, take us on the go wherever you are. We're streaming live on the 13 Wham YouTube channel and foxrochester.com. We'll be right back.
A local favorite is serving up more than just flavor. It's winning praise for sustainability.
Known for its delicious Guglielmo's pasta sauce, Craft Cannery is turning waste into wonder, upcycling thousands of pounds of tomatoes that would otherwise go unused. Chris Lopez is live at their factory this morning, giving us the inside scoop on some of the other sauces they package there. Hey, Chris.
Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, before we get into all of the other sauces that Craft Cannery has to do with, we're going to get into what we left off with. Now, I do want to address one thing. The bottles are upside down, and we didn't actually address that. I was, photojournalist Terry was like, what the heck, why are these upside down? So why are these upside down?
Yeah, that's funny. I walk by it all the time, and I never think twice. But yeah, to somebody who's not used to seeing it, why are they upside down? So the idea is that lid is going on there. The sauce is very, very hot when it goes in the bottle. Then the lid goes on. The lid, not necessarily. The bottom of that lid is maybe your riskiest place to introduce bacteria to the bottle. Okay. So in order to mitigate that risk, we immediately invert, and the hot sauce, the temperature of that sauce, is what's actually going to sanitize, just by way of being hot, the bottom of that lid. So it's just a way of keeping the bacteria out. Essentially what we're doing is we're killing the bacteria before it gets into the bottle, and then we're lowering the pH, the acidity level of the sauce, to make sure it never goes back.
How long do they stay like this?
They only have to stay like that for a couple of minutes. Okay. But for our process, there's no reason to go turn them back. So we go right into forced cooling and all the way into packaging. And then packaging will right size them.
And then going from these, we were talking about the upcycling. These are the upcycled tomatoes here, to some of the stuff that's not upcycled, so some of the other products that you make for other people, local businesses here in Rochester. A few I've already been to and have tried.
Look at this Seabreeze icon, Don's Original.
Been there.
Public Market icon.
Been
Juan
there.
And Maria's. You've got Rubino's. Who doesn't love Rubino's? Agatina's, Sal's Birdland. I mean, a lot of really cool local Rochester items are made here. I'm really, really proud of that, because what we offer to our clients is the ability to, and all these stories are different, but take somebody like Agatina's, for example. They operate a restaurant on the west side, very popular. Everybody loves Agatina's. Okay, so what about extending their brand into the grocery store? You can't go to Agatina's every night. You wish you could. I wish I could, but you can't. So they want to be able to say hello to their customers, if you will, every time they walk into a Wegmans, and that's what they do with this. It's also an extra stream of revenue. And I know we're all sick of hearing about COVID. However, that actually started during COVID, because the owners of Agatina's came to us and said, we really need an extra source of income here. We need to find some passive income. We can't operate our restaurant the way we want. Yeah, but all kinds, everything we just named. Skip's Meat Market over here as well. Look at Costanza Sausage. We've been talking about Headwater. Tacticalories. This guy's out of Webster. And then there's some other stuff too mixed in here that is not local. Like these guys are out of Conneaut Lake, Pennsylvania. These are, what else I got? Ruby's out of Pennsylvania as well. You got Mama K's, which you can find at the grocery store in Wegmans. This is another one I really am proud of. Palmer's. Famous Palmer's.
Been there before.
This one, hold on, I'm digging through now. Iconic Red Osier, right? And then look at this guy. Coho out of Canandaigua. If you spent any time this summer in Canandaigua, probably saw that pizza joint pop up. But just, it's really cool, because I don't think a lot of people realize how many local entrepreneurs are bringing their sauces to market. And where do you do that? How do you do that? They don't have the time or the capacity to do it in the back of the restaurant, so they come to a place like us.
When you first started this venture into sauce making, did you envision making all of this here, upcycling tomatoes? You have to make all of your sauces as well?
No, my first day in business was 15 cases of my own sauce in the trunk of my Kia Sorrento. I drove to the pier in Canandaigua for the Riesling Festival and had a 10x10 pop-up tent from Dick's Sporting Goods. My mother, father, wife, girlfriend at the time, and a couple of cousins, and we all stood under that tent and sold those 15 cases of sauce. This was you're gonna make me tear up.
And I gotta ask you, you're doing so much already. What's the future for Craft Cannery, though?
Yeah, so I mean, the future is more items, really utilizing this bottling line that is a much higher speed bottling line to be able to get a little bit more price competitive for some of the bigger chains around. Okay. Also, we're working on a product right now for bid season for the school district, healthy marinara sauce that would go into a red sauce that would just be a workhorse for dipping, pizza, pasta. It would be for the school system, very healthy. No fat, low sodium, locally grown, beautiful. It's basically carrots and tomato. And put together, and a little bit of beet juice, believe it or not. Put together makes a nice sauce.
Last question. Would you ever make a 13 wham sauce?
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
You know what? I got to know who has a better recipe, Dan or Abby. Whichever one of them has the better recipe, you should get in on it too. That's the one we bring to market.
I smell a lot of things in here,
You're
and now I smell another feature.
Dan
I'm going to
is
send it back to
raising
you
his
guys in
hand.
studio for now.
Dan is raising his hand. He's saying that he would have the best sauce, but I mean, I make sauce regularly, like regularly. Once a week.
Do you think I don't eat?
I know you. I see you eat, like a lot.
Also, I'm wondering why Chris doesn't have to wear a beard hairnet.
Oh yeah, he forgot to shave today. What's up with that, Chris?
Because I don't have a beard. This is not a beard. This is simply just
Management
forgetfulness
says otherwise.
appearing on my face.
I don't know.
All right.
There's hair in it. No, it's Chris's.
Oh.
Well, I'm sorry.
Oh, Lord, people will pay extra for those jokes. Back, it's this morning's weather trivia.
Speaking of hair, meteorologist Mark McLean will join us after this. Welcome back. Mark is here now giving us a look at these body showers out there today, and we have weather trivia too.
We needed it though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it still is crispy out there. I mean, everything is just dried out, and it's been an awfully dry September. But, you know, we had the equinox yesterday, so talking about a weather trivia that kind of centers on that today. And the angle of the sun and the sky, I know this is a weird one. Have you noticed this time of the year you walk outside, and if it's a sunny day, how long your shadow is compared to maybe earlier in the summer?
I measure it.
Do you? Mm-hmm. We do it. We do it in class at MCC.
Every year. I want to see if I've grown.
Have you stopped yet? Have you stopped yet?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
A couple of inches every year.
Yeah.
The hair.
It's. Okay. So you know, at the autumnal equinox, how high is the sun in the sky at noon? So is it 47 degrees high in the sky, 40 degrees, 58 degrees, or 55 degrees? So the sun
In Rochester.
In Rochester. So you have a choice of anything between 0 and 90.
Yep.
90 would be like standing at the equator, sun beating down on you.
Directly overhead.
0 would be at the North and South Pole, where the Sun is either setting for 6 months or rising for 6 months.
Boom, I got it.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel good.
Feel good about it?
I think so.
All right. We'll post that up to Facebook. We'll get some responses from everyone and have the answer at 9 o'clock this morning. How about that?
Right.
Fun stuff, fun stuff. Let's talk about the weather. Let's talk about, this. It finally rained.
It did.
It was 15 days in a row.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we talked about the max last week. What was the max? 20?
Yeah, 26?
Was it 26?
26 straight
Okay.
days, yeah. I think September, so that was the longest streak that we ever had in September. And I was just looking back through some of the data for September, back to the early 1870s. And even with that 6/100ths that we had, this is still the 4th driest September on record in Rochester. So, and this follows a July and an August that also had substantially below normal precipitation. It's funny though, when you look at it for the entire year, we're actually close to normal for precipitation. But when you look at it from the standpoint of the last 3 months, it's about as dry as it gets for this area. And it's 0.27 there. You can see we're fourth on that list. Now, there is another chance for rain in the forecast. This is probably going to be late Wednesday night into early Thursday morning. If we don't get a soaker then, I think it's going to be another solid 5 to 7 days before we have another chance for rain in the forecast. But that does look like a pretty promising chance there for Thursday. And when you walk outside today, it just feels, you ever walk out, it just feels like it wants to rain.
Yeah.
This is that morning. It's 65. The dew point is 64. So the relative humidity is 97%. If we get some clearing late tonight with this kind of humid air sticking around, we're definitely going to get some patchy fog later tonight. We'll see about that. But still some sprinkles out there, some spotty light showers east of Rochester. A lot of this rain is shifting off to the east that we had during the overnight. So I think the gradual trend today will be one of clearing, but it's probably going to take until this afternoon before we see any substantial clearing in the weather forecast. Now, there's going to be a boundary just kind of hanging around. This is the one that's going to serve us up that rain chance tomorrow night into Thursday morning. So watch the rain come in from the southwest, slowly building up to the northeast. And there it is by late Wednesday evening and overnight Wednesday. We'll start to see that rain move back into the forecast. But for today, we'll see a cloudy sky initially, maybe some breaks towards the afternoon, still humid out there. There's that little bit of fog overnight. Tonight, mostly cloudy, 61 degrees, light and variable wind. And, the next 7 days, the overnights are in the 60s. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
I haven't taken any of the plants in yet. I don't intend to. We're going probably into October, well into October before there's any real chance of something cool enough to worry about.
Okay, I have big news.
Yeah.
I have little buds on my pumpkin thing.
Oh, yeah?
What?
Yes, I know. They're like about that big.
So you can have pumpkins.
I hope so.
We were late this year, though. It's
Yeah.
too bad. But that, we get 3 or 4 more weeks. We put some frost blankets over it if we do get a cold night or two.
You might have some gourds.
I might
have some gourds.
Yeah, little guy. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I was so excited.
Next year we'll get it started early to mid-May, and
Yeah.
by this time they'll be.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I told you I already brought the plants in, and
Yeah.
you said I didn't need to, and you're right, I didn't need to, but I wanted to get them in early because I am notorious for kicking that can.
Yeah.
And then the day arrives where they need to be in, and
Yeah.
I'm never going to be able to get them in today.
Well, and you get the later you leave them out too, the more you risk disease and insect and that kind of thing. The nights get longer. The plants get colder at night.
Yep.
So it slows the metabolism down a little bit. But it's just there's just so many of them. They need to stay outside for as long as they possibly can.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Because
It's like an
Miss
all
Kim doesn't like it.
Yeah. Well,
And sometimes you bring critters in with your plants.
there's been a tree frog that's come in before.
Okay.
The little green guys.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, he
They were
didn't
singing
make
last night. Did you hear them?
the cats.
Yeah,
Oh, what?
Well, that's how I found it. It was fine. They play.
Yeah, okay. They play. Yeah,
They're indoor house cats.
It's real fun for the cats, not so much for the frog.
Yep.
Gosh.
Uh,
All right.
Don't go anywhere. We've got a lot more to come right here on Arc Rochester.
We're back after this.
They play. 6:32 this Tuesday morning. Thanks so much for sticking with us here on ARC Rochester. We want to take you behind this story this morning as Jimmy Kimmel is set to return to airwaves tonight.
CNN's Sherelle Hubbard has the latest on the fight over the late-night host's suspension, which sparked a national debate about government interference and freedom of speech.
The show, which was abruptly and indefinitely taken off the air last Wednesday, is returning. ABC pulled the show after criticism and threats by the FCC over Kimmel's monologue where he suggested Charlie Kirk's killer was affiliated with the Make America Great Again movement.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them.
First of all, he said a terrible thing about Charlie, but he also suffers from the fact that he's got no talent and he's got no ratings.
Federal Communications Commission Chair Brandon Carr and networks of affiliate stations had threatened ABC over the remarks.
This isn't even a partisan issue. Free speech is the counterweight. It is the check on government control. That is why censorship is the authoritarian's dream. Those are Brendan Carr's words.
Kimmel's suspension sparked national outrage, with many subscribers to ABC's parent company Disney canceling their Disney Plus subscriptions, and protests from New York to LA.
It is our enduring duty as Americans to uphold our right to free speech, not just for Jimmy Kimmel and the hundreds of people who work for him, but for the preservation of our Constitution.
On Monday, a spokesperson for Disney said they suspended the show to cool tension over Kimmel's comments. I'm Sherelle Hubbard reporting.
Now, although Kimmel is set to return to the air tonight, you will not be able to see him on 13 Wham, ABC, or any Sinclair-owned station.
Sinclair says it will continue to preempt it with news programming. Nexstar stations also stopped airing Kimmel last week, but so far there's been no word on if or when they'll put him back on the air.
Now, this has certainly sparked conversation and debate across the aisle. As we saw in that story, there have been protests, some right there in Hollywood, out front of Kimmel Studios. People, though, also weighing in online, social media, email, phone call, you name it.
Yeah, let's take a look at some of those comments. Linda weighing in, saying it is deeply troubling to witness the extent to which Sinclair has embraced and promoted divisive left-wing rhetoric. I no longer wish to support a company that appears to disregard half of the country.
Patty said, I want to see my Jimmy Kimmel. You can't just end the First Amendment in America. Kimmel did nothing wrong. We all know the real reason for trying to cancel Jimmy is that he makes fun of Trump.
Sue Arnold McNair weighing in said, love him or hate him, this was about free speech and censorship. It's a win.
Lynette Osborne says, I'm not a fan of Kimmel, but I'm a big fan of freedom of speech.
Raymond Foster weighing in says, doesn't matter to me either way if he's on the air or not. Didn't about respect.
Doug Smith says, time to cancel Disney. And again, as we heard in that story, there were lots of people who were actually taking action and canceling their Disney and Hulu subscriptions.
Yeah, very true. Just a handful of comments out of the tens of thousands.
Oh, yes. Plenty and plenty of comments. But again, a story we will continue to follow for you right here on ARC Rochester.
Stick around. We still have a lot to get to this morning. When we come back, we'll check in once again with Chris Lopez.
We're talking about a 13 Wham sauce from Guglielmo's. It's going to be a good sauce. Hey, don't forget, you can take us wherever you are. ARC Rochester is streaming live right now on the 13 Wham YouTube channel and foxrochester.com. Stick around. We're back after this.
Rory turns tomatoes headed for the trash into treasures, and it just won an award for it.
Yeah, instead of wasting tens of thousands of tomatoes, the maker of Guglielmo's pasta sauce is giving them a second chance at food life. Chris Lopez is live at their Virgin factory this morning to show us how it all happens. Hey there, Lopez.
Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, we've been talking about upcycling all morning, and to be approximate, well, kind of approximate, 30,000 to 50,000 pounds of tomatoes get a second life, and that is all thanks to Paul Guglielmo. But you didn't start out upcycling tomatoes at all. You were actually trying to build this business, and I'd like to take this segment to talk about that. From the first ever can, if you want to call it a can.
This is the very first bottle ever made. This was made on July 3rd, 2014. Look, you can see it's like gone bad. Do you see that?
That's
it's
rough.
like all, yeah,
That's
it's like all
rough.
congealed in there. But I did this originally with my grandfather. That's Grandpa Pete. That's me back when I was still cute, little kid. And that is my grandfather's handwriting. Save, first one made. When he passed away, I then got that bottle back. So this is the very first jar ever made. Not like one of the first, the first.
When you saw that, the first one, what was going through your mind? Because it's one thing to make pasta sauce. Everyone makes pasta sauce at home.
Yeah.
But it's one thing to have it bottled and have your name on it.
This was the whole goal. So like you're in a plant, now there's financial goals, growth, et cetera, et cetera. But then on July 3rd, 2014, the whole goal was literally just for it to exist. You see me holding it in my hand? Yeah. It has a label. It's sellable. This was all I wanted. I just wanted to make one. But let me show you something even cooler than that. So this predates that. This is actually from the batch that I made that I then sent to Cornell University's laboratory to have tested for shelf stability. There used to be writing on here, and I had some code name. And then this is the paper that goes with it. This was actually, and I look at it, the recipe right on TV. Ready? This was the original recipe. That was what I measured my grandfather putting into the pot on a Sunday and then sent to Cornell's lab to have analyzed, all in grams because it has to be in weight, handwritten, and that's from that day of me bottling that and getting the approval to go forward. So
you've had a lot of success, but I want to switch over to failure.
Yeah,
you have to have some failure when it comes to business, and nothing more failed than the SpaghettiOs you tried.
Yeah, this whole wall is kind of like my vision wall. Every time I walk out of my office, I want to see this. So this Rotarian made this painting. Volta means energy. Tells me just bring the energy. Every time I do anything, bring 100%. This was the 40 Under 40 award, which reminds me success is possible. But then this, what you're referencing, is we put out these healthier SpaghettiOs. It had pasta. It had meatballs in it. It was whole grain pasta. It was like turkey meatballs. It had like a lot of health, but health benefits, but it was also a $5 bottle of sauce, and it was a complete and utter failure. People say, well, why didn't it take off? The answer is because nobody bought it. It was $5. SpaghettiOs sat right next to it for $1.49. And if there's one thing that I now, the father of a 6-year-old, know, it's that when my kid starts yelling at me in a grocery store, I just want it to be over. All right, SpaghettiOs, fine. We'll get the SpaghettiOs.
Get the $2.
He wants SpaghettiOs. So this wall reminds me every time I leave my office, bring the energy. Success is possible. Failure is possible. But look how far you've come. And then also the last thing I just want to show you is this Grow New York Award. This was in 2022. We won this award. It was an agriculture award in New York State, which was a really, really big deal. And then actually, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the two biggest accomplishments, these dudes right here who live at my house.
Those are your kids.
Yes. Leo and Georgie.
Would you, though, with all the success you have right now, would you want to go back to a simpler time when you were just creating recipes with no business added, no machines breaking down, no managing personalities?
You ever heard the saying, ignorance is bliss, right?
Yes.
Like, thank God I was naive. Because if I knew how much work was ahead, how tired I was going to be all the time, just if I knew how hard it was going to be, I don't know. I don't know if I would do it again. You know, like it's a scary thing to say, but it's true. It's good that you don't know how hard it's going to be when you start it.
Is there something that you would tell yourself that you know now, telling yourself back then?
Yes. There was a thing that I did in therapy that was such a good exercise. I wish I just started doing it a few years ago, but I wish I would have done it back then. And that is that every day there's some problems, right? Write down your problems, put them in your calendar, and look at them in 6 months. Go back then 6 months when 6 months comes by and I look at what my problems were today. They will all seem very insignificant. And so in my calendar, you'll see that. And I'll go back and I'll say, okay, 6 months ago, which would be March, what were my stressors that day? And all of them are like, oh, that wasn't even that big of a, like, oh my God, we figured that out. Like, that's fine. Like, you look back and you laugh at all of them.
It's always worse in the moment.
Exactly. So it would have just been to maybe start that exercise earlier. Really, to start any exercise at any point would be good advice for me to give myself. But that mental exercise would be what I would say. Yeah.
Can we make a 13 wham sauce in the near future?
I thought you were trying to give me a hug. You put your hands
yes,
up. Bro,
13 wham sauce and a hug here.
Absolutely.
Great time here at Craft Cannery, upcycling tomatoes, learning about the success of the business. We will be back making a 13 wham sauce. Send your recipes this way. I'm going to send it back to you in studio.
Hey, Chris, do me a favor. While you're there, can you ask, if someone is sitting at home right now and you're having guests over and you are, pulling the wool over their eyes and saying, oh, it's homemade spaghetti sauce, but you're using Guglielmo's because it tastes great, is there something that we could do to, I don't know, spice it up and so they don't know that we're just feeding them Guglielmo's?
That's a good question. My go-to would be add red pepper flakes, but Dan asked if someone is using your sauce at home and they want the people to believe that it is actually homemade sauce, something of their creation. Is there one or multiple ingredients they can add to the sauce that gives it, doctors it up?
Fresh basil right at the very end. Ooh. Top it with just fresh green leaves of basil. Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
That sounds good.
Oh,
Basil is like one of my
red pepper
favorites.
Flakes. Spice it up.
Ooh, and red pepper flakes.
Yep.
Sold. Done. Excellent. Done and done. Thank you. I could eat basil leaves. I have right out of the garden, right off the plants.
Yeah, you're like
Delicious.
a little bunny over there.
Yep, well, I am. Stick around. When Arc Rochester returns, it's this morning's Crime Stoppers.
We're back after this.
.849 this morning. For this morning's Crime Stoppers, we're taking a closer look at some unusual crime trends that are making the rounds on social media and showing up right here in our community.
Yeah, joining us now is Lieutenant Scott Korn with the Brockport Police Department. We're breaking down what they're seeing locally and what parents need to know, too. Good morning. Thanks for being here.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Let's get right into it. Social media crime trends. Kind of a unique topic. Let's talk about what you're noticing.
It's kind of a trend that started out in the West with this thing called the knock challenge or the TikTok knock challenge, where people were running up to doors. It's kind of like ding dong ditch, but on steroids. People were kicking doors really hard and either causing damage or entering into houses illegally. And it starts out kind of as an innocent prank, or that's how it's intended to be. And it can have some really serious consequences with some damage or just some really dangerous encounters.
Yeah, honestly, it doesn't sound, sure, it may be, you know, from the kids' perspective, may sound innocent to them. But if you're doing this at, you know, all hours of the night, that's not an innocent little behavior to the homeowner or whomever lives there.
Right. And so I think that's part of the interest for us, is that you have some of these juveniles that are doing these things that they think are just these innocent pranks, but have real world implications. So they could amount to a crime or some sort of deadly encounter, heaven forbid. So.
And you know, how often have you guys been noticing these incidents?
That's been tapering off quite a bit. We've only had a handful of instances in Brockport. I know that around the area there's been some more, but we've also seen some trends of people shooting Orbeez guns, which are like these little gel pellets at people. And it's supposed to be kind of like this prank with these guns that look similar to Nerf guns and shoot out these things that don't cause a lot of damage, but they can really cause an injury if they're used inappropriately. And there can be, like I said, some charges with that too, or some real world implications.
Are you seeing any of these acts being posted on social media locally?
I think that's the intent, right? Is to do something really attention grabbing and then post it on your social media and get your friends to see what you're doing. And that turns into evidence for people that are doing those things and generate a crime. So something else to think about, right? Before you start doing these things and posting it.
There may be some parents or grandparents or aunts and uncles watching right now thinking, okay, we did ding dong ditch when I was a kid, nothing bad happened. We played with Nerf guns when I was a kid, nothing happened. You know, explain why this is different.
It's different because some of those things were just settled by, hey, get off my lawn from the homeowner. But some of these things, if you're knocking somebody's door in or breaking their door in the middle of the night, either that person could come out and confront you and have some sort of dangerous encounter. There could be criminal charges from damaging their property or illegally entering their property. And then not just a scary situation that you can tell your friends about, but now you may have that criminal record that follows you for the rest of your life. So it's a lot different than just an innocent little prank that's settled with a laugh, you know.
How do parents approach this topic with their kids? Do they say, I just bluntly, I don't want to see you trying any of those social media trends, and if you do, you're grounded for life?
Yeah, I mean, that's one approach for sure. I think the best rule is always the golden rule, right? Treat people the way you want to be treated. That goes with their property. And, you know, you just want to be kind to your neighbors and be a good citizen and try and hammer that home, that you wouldn't want somebody doing this to you or scaring you like this or damaging your property like this. Just be a good citizen.
For somebody watching at home who's thinking, yep, that happened to me. My door was, you know, severely damaged and I have Ring doorbell video. Is that something that they can show to you?
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of these security camera companies now have a functionality where you can send a clip either through email or some other link to law enforcement to get that, you know, into our hands and us to use it for your case.
All right. Anything else families should know about this, these online trends? Because it doesn't just end with the Orbeez Nerf guns or the ding dong ditch or the pretending to break down somebody's door at 2 a.m., does it?
No, and it's always changing. There's always something new. It's kind of the flavor of the week type of deal. So just kind of monitor the consumption of the social media and then go from there. And then that's about it. I mean, I think just keeping your hands on what your kids are doing and monitoring what they're looking at is important.
All right, very good. Lieutenant, thank you so much for coming in today. We really appreciate it. And as always, we'll post this clip for you over on foxrochester.com.
8:54 this morning. Stick around. A lot more to come right here on Arc Rochester.
We're back after this. Much more to get to this morning on ARC Rochester as we continue into the 9 o'clock hour. Stephannie Joseph will be here breaking down some of our top political stories.
Yeah, she's over at the live desk now with a preview of what we can expect at 9. Morning, Steph.
Morning there, guys. In today's Political Pulse, the UN General Assembly is convening for a second day in New York City. A preview of President Trump's speech ahead of his scheduled remarks later today. Plus, new details on the Trump administration's plans for TikTok, which software company will have access to the platform's algorithm, and why medical professionals are pushing back against President Trump's recent comments about Tylenol and autism. That's all coming up in our 9 o'clock hour. ARC Rochester returns after this.
Tuesday morning, 9 o'clock, this September 23rd. Thanks for joining us on ARC Rochester. I'm Abby Fridmann.
I'm Dan Schrack. That is meteorologist Mark McLean. Back with us once again with a look at the forecast, as well as giving us the answer to this morning's weather trivia and the muddy paws forecast, which something tells me there's going to be muddy paws.
Yeah, it's interesting because we were talking about that. I was talking with Marty about it back in the forecast, and I'm like, technically it's not raining. So, but the ground is still wet from some of the rain that we had last night. So do we go with a muddy paw today, or do we not go with a muddy paw for today?
I think you do.
Yeah.
We could.
That's where I think that was the consensus.
Okay.
Yeah, that we go that route with it. But also changing of the guard out there. Weather trivia today centering on the switch from summer to fall, right? Summer to fall. So talking about the angle of the sun in the sky. This is something, we're losing about 3 minutes of visible day length per day right now, and about 1/3 of a degree of solar angle in the sky at noon, solar noon in Rochester. So how high does the sun get in the sky this time of the year? Is it 47 degrees, 40 degrees, 58 degrees, or 55 degrees? And we have a few responses. I was a little late getting this up today. So Eva had C, Julie and Amy had A for the responses. What do you say?
I am going to go A.
A?
Mm-hmm. A is 47.
47 degrees?
Yeah. Yep, that was my guess too.
Take 47. So we track this through the course of the year. Of course, the Earth is tilted 23.5 degrees on its axis. So that means that angle of the sun changes 47 degrees throughout the course of the year. So there's a huge change, but you're right. Yeah, 47 degrees.
I mean, if you want to get technical, I do believe it is 46.5 degrees.
We lost from yesterday to today. We would have lost a little bit more. And here's the interesting part, right? Because we get to the vernal equinox.
Don't give me that look.
Well, I'm sorry.
Here we go
It's
with
like
the looks.
teacher's pet over here right now.
We get to the vernal equinox, which is going to be, the third week of March. We're getting the exact same amount of radiation from the sun on both days. But think about the average temperature in the middle to the end of March compared to the middle to end of September. Isn't that? I mean, today's high temperature. Okay,
say it again.
Today's average high temperature would be about 71.
Yeah.
Think about the average high temperature in March when you're receiving the exact same amount of radiation.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's in the 40s.
Let me ask, personal question, maybe overshare, but I know you're photosensitive, so is this having any impact?
This does not have any impact on photosensitivity.
Did you ask your doctor though?
He's just trying to derail this thing. 90 degrees high in the sky at the equator. No, I was released from that.
Okay.
Muddy paw outlook. Here's where we ended for Lola and Bodie. I think that's Bodie, right? That's how it was spelled on.
Yeah, I think so.
Bodie,
Yeah.
is that how you say it? Okay. Pups out there. Maybe some wet paws this morning, but by this afternoon we should dry out pretty nicely. It looks like it's going to be dry tomorrow for most of the day. By late Wednesday, early Thursday, this could actually be a towel time depending on how this plays out. There could be a good bit of rain in there for Thursday. We'll have to watch that. And then the trend, of course, is drier into the weekend for Friday and Saturday. Rainfall amounts out there, it was not a lot, but it was enough to notice. I mean, 0.06 of an inch. That's not going to put a dent in a moderate drought. We get that update coming in on Thursday, by the way, and that's going to expand. Dansville had 0.17 of an inch. It was 0.2 of an inch closer to the Binghamton area. And when you look at September, just 3 days have had rainfall. Now, yesterday it did rain, especially east and south of Rochester, but it didn't rain at the airport. Okay, so that's like our measuring stick. That's where we keep our official data. So you see that dry square for Monday, and you're saying, wait a second, I got this downpour. I heard from someone in Penfield and Webster. They said it was coming down pretty good yesterday afternoon, and that was the case for you, but it wasn't the case for everybody out there. We're 2 inches below normal. But 66, the dew point 64, you're going to notice that the next couple of days, it's really going to feel more like summer instead of fall with that southwest breeze at 5. There's still some leftover showers off to the east of Rochester, but a lot of this is going to be shifting out east into central New York as we go through the afternoon. We'll watch that next boundary back to the west. That's going to give us another chance for rain late Wednesday night and into Thursday. So on the Futurecast, we start with some cloud cover tomorrow morning. We'll get some sunny breaks in for the afternoon. The rain starts to build in there Thursday morning and starts to shift out. But, it looks like a mainly dry forecast for a good chunk of the day. 68 at 10, 72 at 1, mid-70s at 5 o'clock. And tonight we're going to drop back to the low 60s. A little fog out there. If we do get any clearing tonight, we will see some fog develop. The 7-day forecast on the extended, a wet day for Thursday. But then, we start to dry out again. It looks like that dry period is going to last well into next week.
Weekend looks nice.
He's still smiling.
What are you laughing at?
He's got something brewing.
No, I can't say it. I can't say it.
What can't you say on this show?
What we need, you said towel time, and it clicked in my head. We need a graphic, and we need a sound effect that you hear the towel snap, the whoosh, and towel time.
like drops of water in the kitchen sink, like choo, choo, choo.
Yes.
Where did that even
I don't know. My brain sometimes takes me on rides, and I just buckle up.
It's just like 2 minutes of
locker
giggling.
Room memories that are coming back to him.
Oh my God.
I'll be over there if you need me.
He's already crying. It's only Thursday.
Oh, man. All right, McLean. Thank you.
The coffee's delicious.
It's not coffee.
Stick around. We have a lot more to come here on our Rochester Oh, goodness. Including we are looking ahead to EPI's upcoming fundraiser walk.
Don't forget, take us on the go wherever you are. We're streaming live on the 13 Wham YouTube channel and foxrochester.com. We're back after this.
morning, we are looking ahead to an upcoming opportunity for you to take a walk, have some fun, and make a real difference.
Yeah, the 1 in 26 walk is back at Seneca Park, bringing families together to raise awareness and support for those living with epilepsy.
This morning, we're joined by Mike Riddell from EPI, along with Ellen DeStefano, whose family has been directly impacted by the organization's work. Thank you both so much for coming in this morning. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Ellen, let's start with you, if you don't mind, and tell us a little bit of your backstory.
Okay. My husband and I have a son who is 25 years old. His name is Mike, and he was diagnosed with epilepsy when he was 5 months old. So we have been living with epilepsy for his entire life. We moved to Rochester in 2007, and he was about 7 years old at the time, and we were just completely lost as to where do we go now? You know, we're in a new city and we don't know anyone and we don't know anything. And my husband did some searching and he found epilepsy preLED, EPI, and we met Mike, and we have been with EPI and getting services from them ever since. Most notably, my son goes to the camp. There's Camp Eager, which is for the younger children, and my son went there till he was 18, and then now he is at Camp Coast, which is the adult version of the camp, the summer camp, and my son loves it, and we are very, very grateful for this opportunity to be able to go to camp. We also are very involved with the family support group, and that has been wonderful because one of the big things that families face is that you feel like you're alone. You feel like you're walking this journey by yourself. And when you connect with other families and other people with epilepsy, you realize you're not alone, and there's a lot of support out there.
It is truly remarkable, all the support that's offered with EPI. And, you know, you touched on it briefly, but I imagine that when your son was diagnosed, there was a lot of fear for you and your husband and the rest of your family as well. Tell us about how those fears were kind of softened a little bit.
Well, I think the fear, having a child that is so young, you don't even begin to imagine what their life is going to be like. And again, not knowing any other families or anyone else with epilepsy at the time, we just felt like we were in the dark. And then coming here, meeting other families, learning about the different treatments, learning about doctors, just learning about the programs through EPI and all that there is to take part of to help your child grow and thrive when he is faced with the challenge of epilepsy.
For someone sitting at home who may be familiar with epilepsy, may not be directly impacted, but has likely heard of EPI and says to themselves, what services do they offer? What do they provide?
Yeah.
What do you say?
Well, epilepsy is a neurological disorder that causes individuals to have reoccurring seizures, and EPI covers a whole bunch of different services for not only people with epilepsy, but with people who have intellectual and developmental disabilities, traumatic brain injury. But we want to tell them that they can come and receive some of these services, like a college scholarship program or a learn to swim program, or like Ellen was talking about, our camps and support groups and things like that, that they can feel connected and get that support when they're faced with a diagnosis like epilepsy.
And it's so important that we keep EPI up and running. So tell us a little bit about the event that is happening, the 1 in 26 walk coming up at the start of October.
Yes, so the 1 in 26 refers to the number of people who actually have epilepsy. 1 in every 26 individuals will be diagnosed with epilepsy at some point in their life. So we have this walk. It's coming up on October 5th, and we're going to do 1 mile, 1 in 26, a group walk together at Seneca Park, right near the zoo, and families can stay at, and participate and go to the zoo after the walk. And then the rest of the month, we raise awareness and money for EPI with walking a mile a day for the rest of the month.
Terrific. Talk to us about the registration process. Someone sitting at home says, okay, I want to sign us up. I want to do this. I'm sure they can take care of it now. Can they also register the day of?
Absolutely, both. They can go to epiny.org now, and they can register right on there. It's on the homepage. You can see it. And then also, if you just want to show up, you can register the day of at Seneca Park.
Excellent. And Ellen, I imagine you and your family will be there, yes?
Yes, we will.
Very good. And have you participated in the walk before?
We have not participated in the walk. We've participated in some of the other fundraising events, but not this one. This will be a first for us.
All right, excellent. I'm sure you're going to look forward to it.
Absolutely. What is the one reason you would tell someone who has never done anything with EPI before to show up that day?
You get immediate connection with other people that are going through the same kind of thing. We raise awareness. We want to get the word out about epilepsy, and having those conversations at the walk or any other event is life-changing for some people, because they do realize that they're not alone.
Very good.
Love that.
Thank you both so much for coming in today. Thank you for all the work that you do. Information on the 1 in 26 walk will go over on foxrochester.com.
9:15, don't go far. When Arc Rochester returns, Stephannie Joseph will break down some of our top political headlines.
Yeah, we have the Political Pulse coming up next.
It's time for a political pulse check here on ARC Rochester. President Trump is expected to deliver remarks to the UN General Assembly in New York City this morning. White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt said Trump's speech is, quote, touting the renewal of American strength around the world and his vision for it. A major topic among member countries has been the ongoing Israel-Hamas war. A growing number of countries, Canada, the UK, France, and more, are choosing to recognize Palestinian statehood. Trump is against doing so. It's a move those countries believe will boost support for a two-state solution to the war. Israel has criticized the effort. White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt says Trump will hold a multilateral meeting with several Middle Eastern countries, including Qatar. Now, this follows last week's Israeli attack on Doha. Qatar has played a key role in ceasefire talks between Israel and Hamas.
We need to give the Palestinians hope for the future and also make sure that the Israelis can live in peace.
What we saw here at the UN, it's actually supporting Hamas. It doesn't support ending of the war.
Now, the Justice Department has closed a probe into President Trump's border czar, Tom Homan. The New York Times reporting that he accepted $50,000 from undercover FBI agents last September. The publication says he was investigated for potential bribery and other crimes after agreeing to help the agents, allegedly operating as businessmen, get contracts in the second Trump administration. But the White House says Homan did nothing wrong. Both the FBI and DOJ reviewed the case and found no credible evidence of wrongdoing. The press secretary says the move was political weaponization from the Biden administration.
You had FBI agents going undercover to try and entrap one of the president's top allies and supporters, someone who they knew very well would be taking a government position months later. Mr. Homan did absolutely nothing wrong.
And we're learning new details about the Trump administration's plans for TikTok. The White House plans for the platform to be owned by several American investors. The joint venture would be between Oracle and private equity firm Silver Lake. Other billionaires, including Michael Dell and members of the Murdoch family, may be part of the group. TikTok's parent company ByteDance would keep less than 20% stake in the platform. Oracle will oversee security, ensuring it abides by Chinese and U.S. laws.
Americans' data will be stored securely in the United States without access from China. All U.S. user data will be stored on servers operated by Oracle in the United States, protected from surveillance or interference by foreign adversaries.
With that, White House officials say Trump will sign an executive order saying this deal meets the requirements of the ban or sale law from Congress last year. Turning now to health experts pushing back against President Trump's claims over a link between Tylenol and autism. The Health and Human Services Agency is taking issue with acetaminophen. That's the pain reliever commonly referred to as Tylenol. Trump calling for pregnant women to stop using the medication despite no new scientific evidence to back it up. The FDA planning to initiate a safety label change to the medication. It'll also launch a nationwide public service campaign for families.
This is a very strong recommendation, maybe stronger from me than from the group because they're waiting for certain studies. I just want to say it like it is. Don't take Tylenol. You'll be uncomfortable. It won't be as easy, maybe, but don't take it. If you're pregnant, don't take Tylenol.
I'm worried that some women might end up taking ibuprofen, for which we know there are real risks.
And finally, New York City mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani is picking up a major endorsement. Former Vice President Kamala Harris announcing her support during an interview with Rachel Maddow on MSNBC. She said, quote, "As far as I'm concerned, he's the Democratic nominee and should be supported." Her backing could put pressure on other top Democrats, including House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, who have so far declined to say if they'll support Mamdani before November.
Thanks so much for sticking with us here on ARC Rochester. It is time to take a look at some of the stories that have people talking with today's Trending Now.
All right, let's start things out with people coming together through the power of mayonnaise.
Last month, a cafe in Spain was attacked by a customer who was passing through and asked for a couple of packets of mayonnaise.
Employees apparently told the man they did not have any mayonnaise, which caused him to become outraged.
Yeah, the guy left, went to a nearby gas station where he purchased a container of gas. According to the cafe owner, he then returned to that business, asked again for the condiment, but when he was denied, he doused the counter in fuel and set it on fire.
The incident resulted in thousands of dollars worth of damage. The cafe owner shared surveillance footage on social media, which eventually gained national attention. That's when the mayonnaise brand Hellmann's stepped in and offered to pay for all of the damages.
In a post on the brand's official social media page, they said, "We're sorry we weren't there. From now on, you can count on us."
Commenters on social media are praising the brand for their generosity, some even saying the person who came up with this should receive a marketing award.
Absolutely. Listen, not cool.
People have a lot of issues, and I'm not saying that to be funny.
No.
I mean, it's like I think that there is something truly wrong, and it's extremely concerning. That's really, really bothersome.
Yeah, because they didn't have mayonnaise. Wild stuff. All right, let's move along to China, where hopefully we'll get a story that is good.
Well, not that story wasn't good, actually.
No.
It's more like positive.
Like something we can maybe laugh and poke fun at because it's trending, and not Debbie Downer hour.
There's silence from the control room. That means she's mad.
So we're going to China, where a new trend is giving tattoos a strange canvas.
Instead of getting tattoos on your skin, young people are choosing to get tooth tattoos.
What?
Wow.
These tats are also known as dental crowns, and the process is less extreme than it sounds.
Designs are etched onto 3D printed crowns that fit over your tooth.
Many people have gotten their partner's initials, a lucky number, or even a phrase.
One of the most popular phrases is getting rich. How does that fit on a tooth?
I don't know. I don't get it. The tooth tats are being seen as a functional accessory that are more practical than lifelong ink.
Large dental clinics have even started advertising tooth tattoos as part of their services, sometimes even offering them as a free upgrade.
You want to supersize that? A free upgrade. The trend has also gone viral on social media with mixed reaction from viewers.
Some say it's genius, others are calling this a nightmare.
Do we have any images of what this looks like?
No, unfortunately not.
So Google it, and you let us know.
They look so dull. Like, you can't even tell what they are. Like, it literally just looks like, oh, you have like a stain on your tooth. Like,
Well,
you probably should get that checked out or cleaned, you know?
That would be my first thought. Dead tooth.
Yeah.
Why? That's serious. There's nothing worse, you know?
Than a dead tooth?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's wrong with just getting a tattoo? A regular old tattoo?
I don't know. When I was in college, I didn't get one, obviously, but the thing that all the girls in my dorm were doing, they were getting the inside of their lip tattooed in there.
Why?
I don't know.
For what?
Because they wanted a tattoo.
What did it say?
I can't tell you.
Oh, okay.
No, not because it was inappropriate, because it was very specific to one person.
Oh.
And I think that she still lives in the area, so I wouldn't want to.
Oh, thrown under the bus?
Wow.
Okay.
I have a friend that got mom tattooed on the inside of their lip. I don't know why.
That's
strange.
That sounds like it would hurt like crazy. Sorry, I gotta move my mic. That
That's
sounds like it
odd.
would. Yeah.
Yeah.
There were a couple girls that got it, but I just remember the one specifically.
If you pulled your lip down, it would say wow.
It would say wow. So you have to get it tattooed upside down.
Upside down?
I guess.
Otherwise, everyone would see wow.
Huh.
I also wonder, though, if you're getting the inside of your lip tattooed,
Yeah.
is that going to last as long as a normal tattoo?
No, it doesn't. And that's why a lot of them were getting, at least that's what they told everybody, that it would fade a lot.
Yeah. You
So
would
that,
think
you know,
that it would.
your college years, you can be like, oh, look at my tattoo. And then you get older and it's like, not really there.
Oh my God, just don't get a tattoo then.
No. Remember those like fruit by the foot, or what was it, the fruit roll up? You could
Uh-huh.
do the tattoos on your tongue. How about that?
I don't. Do you remember, what was the zebra gum?
Oh,
Zebra stripes? The wrappers were tattoos?
I don't remember that.
Yeah. You'd stick them up.
Tell the age difference here.
I definitely had zebra gum. Is it the one that came in the Band-Aid box? It was like a metal box. It looked like Band-Aids.
No.
I think that was Band-Aid gum.
Yeah, it came in it came in a regular gum packet with a zebra on it and
Oh,
zebra
yes, okay, I
stripes.
do. Yep,
Yeah.
I remember. Okay.
All right, let's move along now to another popular trend that has restaurants speaking out in anger.
Did you know restaurants could speak? Anyways, it's a trend called pocket packing. People go to restaurants or fast food establishments and they help themselves to an excessive amount of items like plastic utensils, straws, napkins, and condiments. This has been around forever.
Yeah, every grandparent around the world is getting called out right now. So the trend started as a way to fight inflation and use resources available to save money.
Restaurant owners, though, are starting to demand people stop. Some saying they're considering not even having self-service stations anymore with those items.
Yeah, those who take part in this trend have said they walk into fast food restaurants and just take things without even buying something. Okay, that's just slimy.
Yeah, that's gross. Some say they take it a little bit too far. One user admitted they have once filled up a 16-ounce thermos with coffee creamer just from the little single-serve packets. That's insane.
Others say they've gone as far as to take toilet paper, from restaurant bathrooms. That's just called theft.
Yeah.
That's stealing.
Newsflash.
Yeah, it's not a viral trend.
No.
You're a criminal.
Okay, so what about all the grandparents out there that take all the jelly packets?
Grandparents, they get a free pass.
Okay.
They get a pass.
Why, though?
I'm
not arguing. I just
You want to know why? Yeah. Because that is a Depression-era thing.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Yeah.
100%. You saved, you scraped, you kept everything you had.
Yeah.
And you let nothing go to waste because waste not, want not. Like, it was not a thing.
Yeah, but the people on social media are saying that it's because of inflation that they're doing all this.
No, they're doing it and posting it to social media for clicks and likes.
You're right. I know.
They're not doing it to fight inflation. Buy some metal forks. Then you don't have to steal the plastic ones.
Yeah. That coffee creamer one is wild. Do you know, what was it, a 16 ounce, 18 ounce? That is 16. That is so many of those little tiny
hundreds of those things. Like,
Can you imagine being a worker there and not stopping them?
just seeing someone someone is seated in your section, they don't order anything on the menu, and they keep asking for more creamer, and just are pouring it into a thermos?
Right, okay, and so then here's the other thing, right? So you're like, I'm gonna stick it to the man and take all of the creamer inside this restaurant. Well, guess what? You're really just ruining everybody else's time at the restaurant. The restaurant's like, oh, okay, we'll just order more. In the meantime, everybody else at that restaurant isn't gonna have coffee creamer.
Yeah.
You're not sticking it to the man, you're sticking it to your fellow neighbor.
And again, you're a crook. Like, it's not a trend if you could end up in jail or with a citation or in handcuffs. Use your head. Use your head. Do I have to parent everyone?
Apparently so. We gotta move on now to a mother in the UK who took to social media to ask if she was being overdramatic. Oh boy.
In a TikTok video, the mother expressed her frustration after her son was allegedly told by a teacher in school that he couldn't have cheese and crackers for his morning snack.
Okay, so according to the mother, the teacher is new and has brought a lot of these new rules to the classroom.
The mother said that the teacher wouldn't allow him to have the cheese for snack time because it wasn't healthy.
The mother went on to say that she was so upset she chose to remove him from school for the rest of the day.
Wow. She went on to ask her viewers if she overreacted to the situation and wondered if it's normal for schools to have that much control.
Mixed opinions online. The comments, some of them said she didn't overreact and it's not up to the school to dictate what parents pack for their kids. Others, though, say it was a complete overreaction. Next time, she should have just asked what's appropriate for snack. I feel weird weighing in because we don't know both sides of the story.
Yeah.
We haven't heard from the teacher or the school district or whatever. Here's my issue. I don't like that she took to social media to ask her viewers. Like, why are you looking for validation from people on the internet? You know? Like, why are you airing your dirty laundry? I don't know. I just don't really get it.
No, I'm right there with you. Listen, somebody wise once said, and I don't remember who it was, so maybe they weren't that wise, but if you have to ask, then maybe you are in the wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A little bit.
If you have to ask, hey, was this an overreaction? If you're second guessing your initial reaction, chances are it might have been a little bit of an overreaction. And something tells me that there might be more to this story than cheese isn't healthy.
Yeah. See, I kind of feel the same way. Like, we would need to hear from somebody else here before really making an educated decision. But I would argue that what?
Also, wait a second. I'm a little confused. Did the kid immediately call his mother and say, I'm not allowed to have snack? How did mom know to remove the kid from class for the rest of the day?
Ashley?
I think it was that situation where the teacher called and said he doesn't have a snack today because you packed something that wasn't allowed, not healthy.
So, wouldn't mom have said that, though, in the post? Hey, the school district says this is not allowed?
Well, that was the reason. That's what the reason that the teacher gave, was it's not healthy. That was it. There was no further why it's not healthy, what you should pack instead. It was like...
And she didn't ask those things?
No, not according to the video, she did not.
Okay. Weird. Listen, I would argue that the reaction of taking the kid out of school for the day could be considered an overreaction, right? But I would argue that posting a video to social media that becomes trending would be more of an overreaction.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're making a bigger issue out of something that didn't need to be an issue. Maybe just pack an apple
Or, I mean...
with cheese?
Was he offered another snack? Did the teacher say, like, hey, you can't have the cheese and crackers, but here's whatever? I don't know. I don't know. Too many questions.
Did you guys have, we called it fruit break.
We did not have that.
You didn't have snack time?
Went to public school. We did have snack time.
You had snack time. If you didn't have something, you just didn't have a snack.
Yeah.
And it wasn't regulated what you had. I'm sure it was frowned upon if your mom and dad gave you a sleeve of Oreos to sit there and eat.
See,
because
they
didn't need you hyped up on sugar.
They didn't care.
But, yeah, I don't know.
Ashley, keep your eye on this story.
Yeah,
I'm curious to know if there's a follow-up.
We need to know if
Where
she
was this?
posts
The UK?
again.
Yeah.
I hear you're a big fan of our show.
Yes, the
Out that
UK,
way.
the entirety of the UK. They watch us on the daily. Hey, stick around. We've got a lot more to come right here on Arc Rochester, including when we come back, we're sitting down with an internationally acclaimed guitarist who's celebrating his new album here in town.
Yeah, and don't forget, take us on the go wherever you are. We're streaming live on the 13 Wham YouTube channel and foxrochester.com. We'll be right back. journey across continents is coming to Rochester. Renowned classical guitarist and Eastman School of Music professor Nicholas Galusis has just released his 10th album, Across the Horizon.
This morning, we're learning more about the record and an upcoming album release concert happening next week. For more, we're joined now by classical guitarist Nicholas Galusis. Thank you so much for coming in this morning. We appreciate it.
That's my pleasure to be here.
So talk to us. This is the 10th album. That is a lot of work, my friend.
I've been at this for a long time, so it doesn't feel like it's been too intense for me. But a classical musician usually has a triple career. It involves recording and performing and teaching. And they all really feed into one another. So my recording informs my performances. My performances help me with teaching students. I have some fantastic young students that I'm happy to train, and they're becoming great artists in their own right and professors all over the place. So my teaching's been a real joy for me. It's kind of the honor of my professional life. But recording and performing is what I do.
That is excellent. And I imagine that seeing all of these young musicians that you teach, does it kind of inspire you when you write your music?
The thing is, I teach them, and then they go out into the world and they have their careers. And I see them sometimes years later, either as at the colleges where they teach or in concert. And I see the seeds that I planted, but they've grown. And that's extremely gratifying for any teacher to see that it worked and that they nurtured the information that they got here at Eastman.
Take us back. When did you first pick up a guitar? When did you realize that this was a love and a passion and what you wanted to do?
All right, so I'll tell this story. It's an unexpected story. When I was a boy, and this was around early 1960s, the Beatles had showed up on the Ed Sullivan Show. And I thought, this is great. So I badgered my family for an electric guitar. I got an electric guitar, had a little rock band. We played in all the school dances and everything else. It was great. And then one day, a few years later, there wasn't any music in my house particularly, but one day, a few years later, the great Spanish virtuoso Andres Segovia was on the Ed Sullivan Show. And I saw that. And I don't know why I thought it was the most beautiful thing I had ever heard, but it was the most beautiful thing I had ever heard. And I remember saying to my father, "What's this?" And he said, "Well, that's a real musician." So the gauntlet had been thrown down. I switched over to classical guitar and never looked back.
Wow, that is a fantastic story. I want to talk about the new album before we run low on time here. Tell us a little bit about it, Across the Horizon.
Yes. Yeah, horizons are becoming big for me right now as I'm getting up in years. I'm looking ahead. We've all come through a very difficult time with COVID. I keep a little sailboat up on Lake Ontario, and so I'm always looking out at the horizon. But this record is made up of pieces of music from across the world. A couple from South America, great tango master Piazzolla, and the towering giant of Brazilian music, Villa-Lobos. Modern music by Stephen Goss, who's an English composer who wrote a great concerto for guitar and wind ensemble. I did it with the Eastman Wind Ensemble, and that's on there. A piece that I brought back from Australia by Philip Houghton. I met him in Melbourne, and I'm Greek. And so there are more Greeks in Melbourne than anywhere else in the world outside of the country of Greece. It was just an incredible thing. Anyway, I met him there, and he wrote this piece based on Greek mythology, and that's there. Ends with a little piece called Home by Andrew York, a California composer, because any great journey, you come back home.
You certainly do. Well, we look forward to hearing the entire album. You don't have to wait long, though, because on the other side of the break, we are going to have a live special performance right here in studio.
Yeah, thank you very much. Don't go anywhere. We're back after the break.
are back now with guitarist Nicholas Galusis, who has just released his 10th album, Across the Horizon, and is getting ready to celebrate with an upcoming album release party next week.
Yeah, but before that happens, we're thrilled to be getting a live in-studio performance this morning. Thanks again for being here. We appreciate it. Great conversation just moments ago, but now we're going to actually get to hear you play, yes?
Yes.
Tell us what you're going to be playing.
This is the first prelude by Brazilian composer Heitor Villa-Lobos.
Terrific. Take it away.
spots this morning on Arc Rochester. Love live music.
Yeah.
Yep, best
it.
bits.
That was great.
I thought Chris's feature today was awesome too.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yep.
Seeing literally how the sauce is made.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hellman's mayonnaise stepping up.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Isn't that trending?
That
Yeah,
story
I
was
really.
unique.
I liked that they're stepping up and helping that restaurant out.
People are scary though.
That's scary.
Like,
Yep.
Packets of mayonnaise, people. That's it. Like,
yeah.
it's just mayo.
Tooth
Just mayo.
tattoos. Would you guys do it?
No.
Mark.
Do either of you have real tattoos?
No.
Am I the only one out here with ink?
Mm-hmm.
You're so cool.
I'm the toughest one out
Well,
here.
we married. Your wife has ink.
Oh, lots.
My husband
Yep.
has lots of ink.
Yeah.
Soon to have more.
Yep.
What's the craziest
Someone
thing
has
you've
it.
ever taken from a restaurant? Go.
The craziest thing I've ever taken from
Yeah,
a
go
restaurant?
fast, quick.
I don't think I've ever taken anything.
I think I might still be liable if I answer this question live.
Maybe some red pepper
yeah, the
flakes and
statutes of
Parmesan.
limitations have not run out.
I've only taken one, and it was an accident. You know, like when you go and you, like,
Maybe a pen.
it was like one of those little sauce containers.
Oh, yeah?
The metal ones, and I felt
One of
really
those
bad.
very large bottles of wine
No,
for
you
someone's
didn't.
first communion. That does it for us here on Arc Rochester. It was their confirmation, actually. We're back tomorrow morning starting at 4:57 over on
13 Wham ABC. Join Steph and Mark coming up later today for 13 Wham News at midday.
Bye.